Another month, another anime series on Netflix to review. But I think Shaman King might be one of the best. Medium Yoh Asakura enters a battle tournament held every 500 years, competing with other shamans in a bid to become the all-powerful Shaman King. Welcome back, movie watchers. Thank you guys for stopping by my channel. Shaman King is a new Netflix series that is based on a popular manga and a previous anime series as well. I check out pretty much any anime series that does come to Netflix, and I always have high hopes for them. Some fail, some are pretty good, and I feel like Shaman King is right there with the ones that I would regard as the best. This was a really enjoyable series that adapted a lot of manga issues and tried to put it in with 13 episodes, and there are other episodes as well that just not are on Netflix, but it tries to do a lot. The pacing for this series is really quick. It's focused on leading into the second season. There's a lot of characters, a lot of myths, a lot of exposition when it comes to Yoh Asakura, who is training to become the new all-powerful Shaman King, and all of the people that he meets along the way. In the first episode, Yoh meets Manta, a young boy in school, and they become friends, but Yoh is able to have a companion, someone of the past, a spirit that is able to help him in battle. And so in the beginning of the series, we introduced to these characters Yoh and Manta, and even Yoh's fiance, who's introduced into the second season, as she thinks that Yoh is going to become the powerful Shaman King. So she's getting ready for all of that. And then further on, episode 2 through 13, I believe, so many different new characters are introduced. But the way that this series is structured, it's a training style for the overall battle of becoming a Shaman King, and actual battles that are held and are observed. And so throughout the 13 episodes, and like I said, the pacing is really quick. So throughout these episodes, we have a lot of action scenes. And the action scenes are important to the overall story, but there is also developing stories with Yoh and a newcomer in the season called Ren and the previous spirits. They tried to give backstory to those spirits and Ren and Yoh and his fiance and Manta and the overall Shaman King battle. Sometimes those important stories that develop these characters do get lost in the large amount of action scenes and battles that takes place within the series. There are some interesting stories and some subplots within here that really do move these characters forward, and some relationships that are challenged, especially when it comes to Yoh and Manta and Yoh's fiance as well, and the backstory of Ren and the spirits as well. But luckily, these characters are a lot of fun, especially Yoh, the main character within the Shaman King. He is a very likable character. He sees the best in a lot of things. When it comes to conflicts, he tries to break things down. What are these spirits feeling? How can we resolve certain situations? And when it comes to these big action scenes and a lot is at stake, it is interesting to see how this character tries to go about certain situations in a different light compared to other stories where other characters want to solve conflict with violence, where this character wants to solve conflict by really digging deep into your emotions and your past as well, and how that is affecting the current state of a spirit within the series. So it makes this story highly engaging. I found myself really interested in Yoh as a character and how he interacted with the whole main cast in the series, and some conflict was eventually resolved, and some other characters start to form relationships and really start to shake things up in the series. The characters have quirks which add a lot of humor to it. The animation is really great. The swift action scenes are bright and violent and a lot of fun. And the quirks that we do see matches the animation style. When a funny scenario is happening or someone is reacting to something in a funny way, the animation is there to kind of match that. We see in anime all the time when characters start to do something funny, like their heads get big or the characters start to turn red and have these things around their faces. We see that a lot in the Shaman King, and it does feel like a typical anime at times in regards to that, but it does add some interesting moments to it. Since there is a lot of battles and it's eventually setting up that second season and a lot of the pacing feels very quick, the action is definitely there. In the middle half of the season, you can tell that they are starting to kind of come to the end of it with so many battles, the people observing the battles, rating them, giving them scores and all of that. It starts to shift from a kind of down to earth story about Yoh and his friends and training and the different spirits and connecting as well. And then it shifts its gears to that battle story with Ren and Yoh and all of the spirits involved, and eventually getting to the end of the season and setting up that second season. So that shift, while I do think works, kind of loses some of the personal touches in the later half of the series. One of my favorite characters in here is Ryu, who is a guy who has a bunch of friends and wants to find a happy place, and he's a tough guy on the streets. He eventually gets possessed in an episode and works alongside Yoh eventually in the series, and he's so funny within the series. And eventually when he learns his purpose and who he really is, his character shifts and he became like this tough guy who was beating up kids, and eventually became a character that wanted to help people out and became a large and had a lot to do in the later half of the series. So overall, the Shaman King was a lot of fun. I really like the characters and the stories within here and how it does set up that second season. And the animation is really great. It's quirky at times, typical a little bit as well, but also just a blast to watch. I can't wait to check out the rest of the Shaman King. It's adapted from a manga and a previous anime series as well. So I'm curious to kind of check everything out in regards to the Shaman King. So before I give you my score for the Shaman King, make sure to check out my channel. Here I do anime reviews, movie reviews, trailer reactions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie related content you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so you might as well just subscribe to get it all in one spot. I'm gonna go ahead and give the Shaman King a B. Thank you guys for checking my review for the Shaman King on Netflix. Have you guys seen it? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content. My name is Just So Much As Movies, and you guys stay classy.